think the last class were understood by everybody. So in the last class we had discussed about the synthesis of mRNA, RNA codons, what is the difference between DNA and RNA, what are the steps for the production of mRNA, the coding strand, non-coding sense strands, anti-sense strands, those things we have discussed. So here we are going to discuss, now we are going to this week we are going to discuss about mainly four things. One is genetic code, mutation, tRNA, and translation. So it is very simple, so if you listen it will be very easy. So you have studied that mRNAs are formed with some sort of codes, UAG, that means AUGC codons will be there. Instead of thymine it will be uracil. So if any person can understand that code, so they can understand that which protein this particular codon is going to code. And if we know which protein they are going to code, it will be very helpful for us. So if we make some changes in DNA or in mRNA, so we can change the protein synthesis according to our need. It is possible. So it is very much important nowadays, because we have gene therapy and other type of medicinal part useful for the human treatments. It is growing in research basis, it is running and growing very fast, and the people started to synthesize and artificial DNAs also. So when we are synthesizing artificial DNA, we should be very careful. That means the natural things should not be changed. So if we want to make any change, we find that it is not good, or we can make some change, we can do, but other natural things are not possible. So for that we must know the codons. So the first person who started to study about this codon, that is soon after 1952, since the time when Watson and Crick proposed the structure of DNA, the first person started to study is George Gamow. So he is the first person say that codons will be AUG, UGC. They will code in three form. In 4 ways they can code, and totally we will be having 64 amino acids, and 64 amino acids they will code for some sort of proteins. So then what happened is, after that Hargobind Singh Khurana and Ocha, because before Hargobind Singh Khurana, Shivaro Ocha, who is a Japanese scientist, so he studied about the poly A tailing, capping, and those procedures he has studied. And after that Hargobind Singh Khurana, who is from India but did his research in United States, and very shortly after that Robert H. Hawley, they both determined the structure of tRNA and the mRNA codon. For this, Ocha, Hargobind Singh Khurana, and Robert W. Hawley, they both got Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine in 1959, because they discussed about how these enzymes are controlling the RNA synthesis. So that was his role. So now because of what they have studied, now they made a table on that basis. So you can understand that the first and the second letter will never change, and the third letter will be keep on adding. So each will be coding for, each 3 codons will code for one particular amino acid. You can see UUU in the first column. UUU codes for phenylalanine. UUC also codes for phenylalanine. But as a +2 student, the most important is the start and the stop codon. That is, there are some codons are there which is responsible for starting the translation, and there are some codons are there which can stop or terminate the translation process. The codon that starts the translation process is AUG, and the codon which ends the translation process is UAG, UGA, or UAA. So these codons, but in examination they will be giving these codons in a mixed one, and they will ask you to arrange this codon in a sequence. That means which is the starting codon, which is stopping codon, whatever comes to the middle. So you should be extra careful inside that. Then what are the salient features of the genetic code? This genetic code are triplet in base, that total 64 codons will be there, but only 61 codes for the amino acid. The 3 codons are for the stop codons. They don't code for any particular amino acid. And 1 codon codes for only 1 amino acid. And in some cases they code it randomly. Codes will degenerates, and codon will be mRNA codon will be read in a continuous manner without any punctuation, that is UAG. If I am writing there, it should be written as UAG. It's not a U comma A comma G. And genetic codon is universal, but some cases, in some exceptional cases with the mitochondrial DNA, because mitochondria can also do some process of translation, which you know that it is an autonomous organelle. And AUG codon methionine is the start codon for almost all the organisms. And next important thing is the genetic codon and mutation. So here, before reading, you just see the example. Here they have given one sentence: Tom has a big toe. Now instead of big, B-I-G, big, there they are inserting O. You can see in the red letter. So now if you are reading as per the mRNA sequence, first 3 letters Tom, T-O-M has read, H-A-S as read, but next comes, it will be read separately. That means earlier it was big, so there has some insertion happens, so it has read as ONB. That ONB will code for another protein which is not at all required in a normal system. Then you see, once the codon has changed their one, then the further reading also changed. ONB they have read, then IGT they have read, and OE end up with nothing, because 2 codons will never code for any. So this is known as the frame shift mutation. Entirely one frame has changed. So this frame shift mutation is possible by insertion of some codes, either A, U, G or something codes when it is inserted. So all the 4 frames can be changed. Then we are coming to the adapter molecule. Adapter molecule means this tRNA will stand in between mRNA and the ribosomes. Proteins will be synthesized in ribosomes, but this mRNA when it goes to the ribosomes can't understand. So it has to be converted into a language which the ribosome understand. So that ribosome understand through the language of tRNA. That is why it is known as transfer RNA. It is transferring the message from mRNA to the message that a ribosome can know, and they can synthesize the protein. And if you see this mRNA codon, it is called as an adapter codon. It will be having 2 phases. It is a clover leaf model. So it will be having 2 parts inside that. One is known as the anticodon loop, and another one is known as amino acid acceptor groups, acceptor end or a group. And if you see that mRNA comes and bind, that is 5'3' direction, mRNA is there, so that is a codon. So instead of against that codon, an anticodon will be generated. So it will, for instead of uracil, it will be adenine, and instead of adenine it will be uracil, and it will, instead of C, it will be G. Accordingly to that, a particular amino acid will come and bind on the amino acid acceptor end. Am I clear? So this process takes place inside the ribosomes, and inside the ribosomes are having 2 subunits, the cell chapter, smaller subunit and the larger subunit. Inside the larger subunit, this attachment takes place. In smaller subunit, hold this mRNA will be added, and these process that takes place inside this tRNA, this process needs energy, and enzymes are also plays a major role inside this. That is, this enzyme that is convert this into another, they are known as tRNA transferase enzyme or amino acid transferase enzyme. And inside this ribosomes also, this translation, initiation and elongation process takes place, that is inside the ribosomes. So inside the ribosomes, the first is initiation. Why this initiation is required? This, there should be some codon should be required, which has read as, now we will start for synthesizing the protein. As soon as it is read, the amino tRNA will get charged with ATP, and this charging of tRNA is known as the amino acylation of tRNA. Amino acylation of tRNA. And when two amino acids, when for example one is AUC and another one comes as CAU, if it codes for another protein, another amino acid, this first amino acid and second amino acid will be there, and first and the second will be joined by the ribosome through peptide bonding. And many such amino acids in a peptide bond forms a protein. So that particular process of elongation, that means a lengthening of this amino acid by joining with a peptide bond, that particular process is known as elongation. And finally it is termination, that means stop the process of coding the protein. So these are the main things that is present inside the translation process. So if you are understood what is role of tRNA, what is the role of mRNA, what is the role of first subunit and the larger subunit and the smaller subunit, and how they comes and binds, then done. That process of protein synthesis is over. And there are many other sources are there, but you don't want to study all the things for at least for the examination's sake. So if you have any doubt, please text me, or if you don't understood this this particular portion, I will explain it again. Am I clear? So if you have anything, please text me. Thank you.